Well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. How are you, Josh? Josh Nichols, seven weather meteorologist Josh Nichols, along with myself, Jeff Russo, here for a seven weather update. Weather, the big story over the last couple of days. And as we close out 2025, wanted to get you up to date with the latest weather conditions, still dealing with lake effect snow in many parts of Western New York. And we are inviting you during this stream on Facebook this afternoon to kind of bring in your comments, ask the experts in terms of meteorologist Josh Nichols. Josh, we've been tracking this since Monday. It was the wind, then the snow, and we're dealing with it still today. As we get you ready for to ring in the new year, we wanted to make sure people, if they had any plans or any travel ahead of them over the next couple hours, to know exactly what they're dealing with. Feel free, if you would like to ask a question, feel free to put it in the chat. Ask some questions. We'll get those questions to Josh. But a lot going on today, Josh. We're dealing with some advisories, some watches, and the like. I want to remind people before we get started here, we are coming to you live right now around 4:02 on Wednesday. Some of these advisories and watches will change throughout the day. This is a fluid situation. So if you are rewatching this, make sure that you check in for the latest information. But as it stands right now, meteorologist Josh Nichols joining us now with the latest with what we're dealing with. Josh, what are we doing here now as we push toward 2025 in terms of the weather here in Western New York?
Frozen and flaky. Those are the two operative weather words here, Jeff. And good evening, everyone. Honestly, it's all about the lake effect snow band placement right now as to how much snow your town will see. And that's why we have the winter storm warnings that are out for areas south of Buffalo. Now, we just had some pretty good bursts of snow come through downtown Buffalo. Some of it is fading a little bit in some parts of the metro. But that band is slipping off to the south, and at times it is snowing at about an inch an hour. And so that means that roads are going to get quite slick and quite quickly. I can tell you coming in, because I come in from Rochester into Buffalo for work. I accounted for some extra time this afternoon to get in. I didn't account for enough time because there are parts of even the main lines like the Thruway and also parts of the 190 that are still not quite treated as well, as far as I can tell, is what they could be. So keep that in mind. Keep also in mind that secondary, untreated, and elevated road surfaces are all going to be slick because the trend is not our friend as far as the temperature is concerned. The temperatures are going to be taking quite the dip. In fact, this is going to be a very cold New Year's Eve, and we're going to be looking at the potential for overnight low temperatures down into the mid-teens. Combine that with northerly winds, and you will have wind chills that are deep down into the single digits below zero. Maybe we can go ahead and take the graphics. I don't know if that's a possibility.
Look
Okay,
at
there we go. Excellent.
that.
Ask and it shall be
There you
given.
go.
Yes. So these are this is our high resolution computer model that looks at Western New York on a very fine-tuned basis. And what you can see here is the potential by tomorrow morning for about 2 to 6 inches of snow into southern Erie County, in particular, about 6 inches. Buffalo will pick up another couple inches, but the main focus for this snow remains, again, the Boston Hills, parts of Wyoming County, also into places like Ski Country, Ellicottville, Jamestown. All could be looking at another half foot of snow. All right, so let's look at radar here, and you can see exactly what's taking place. And again, as I mentioned, coming in on the Thruway from Rochester into Buffalo, it was pretty dicey out there. And again, whenever you have secondary, untreated, elevated road surfaces, they all turn slippery in this kind of pattern. But you see, the radar is lit up like a Christmas tree, so to speak. We have areas of moderate snow right now into Genesee County, also into, again, also Buffalo, southern Erie County. Now, there's just a generic amount of lake enhanced snow or just system snow back to the west. So we've got many hours to go here before we see the flakes starting to fade. In fact, we still have a couple of days to go before the flakes fade in some form or fashion. So we'll go in here for a closer look. You can see that on Super Doppler and satellite put together, We do have, again, moderate snow that is falling out there, and in spots heavy. In fact, there's right now there actually is still an airport weather warning in effect that's basically geared towards pilots. But what that means is that the visibility is quite low right now in Buffalo, Blaisdell, Orchard Park as well, picking up on some heavier snow. We're also seeing that heavier snow falling right now in Lancaster and Alden and out towards Attica. Even off to the north, we're dealing with some pockets of moderate snow right now out here towards Newfane, Lockport, Royalton, basically anything north of 77. And then we go in for a closer look here into Grand Island and Wheatfield and Niagara Falls. You're all dealing with moderate snow right now. So make no mistake about it. As I said, our future is certainly flaking. You can see back to the west. Look how much snow exists back to the west from Toronto to Saginaw, Michigan. And we still have streamers of lake snow beyond that. So this is a prolonged lake effect event. Again, if you can manage it, if you can get out there and shovel regularly, then it's a manageable kind of snowfall event. All right, so here's our high resolution model that kind of shows exactly where the bands are going. Again, so here within the next hour, you can see it's snowing here in Western New York. Right around 8:30, the heaviest snow will likely line up from about Dunkirk to Concord to Warsaw. And then the flakes will start to fade probably off to the north of Buffalo by about the time that the ball drops on this New Year's Eve. Then we head into tomorrow. It's just kind of cloudy. And we will see for your New Year's Day still some leftover lake snow, but it's not going to be to the extent of what we have right now. Of course, we all know about some of those winds that we had. Those winds were wicked the other day, with a peak gust in Buffalo to 79 miles per hour. It was the strongest wind gust, I believe, since 1980 logged in Buffalo. Here are your projected wind gusts going into tonight. We're looking at gusts close to 30 miles per hour, but you combine that with dropping temperatures, and like I said, you're going to be dealing with sub-zero wind chills. So here's a look at some of our weather alerts right now. Again, in that light blue, we have the aviation weather warning. In that purplish area that you see, we are under winter weather advisories. So, and those go through 1 o'clock in the morning. And again, it's not for the sheer amount of snow, it's for the visibility issues that we're going to be encountering. So if you get a burst of snow, maybe it puts down an inch, you combine that with, say, 30 mile per hour winds, and it blows, it drifts, you get potential whiteouts. And so that makes for some poor traveling conditions. So if you are going to be doing some reveling out and about, just keep that in mind. We do have the winter storm warnings that are out as well. Now, it's really more for southern Erie County than it is for Buffalo, but this particular map highlights all of Erie County. It includes Genesee County, Wyoming County, Chautauqua County, Cattaraugus County, and those go through, and note the timestamp there, it is Wednesday. That's not a mistake. These winter storm warnings do last until Friday night. Again, dealing with a prolonged, protracted period here of lake snow.
We've been dealing with weather throughout the week, right? As we close out 2025, that's the reason for our 7 weather alert today. We are offering and welcoming in our viewers here today on Facebook with this WKBW 7 weather update. And we're taking your comments as well along the way. Hello to Mary and everyone along the way. Kathy Smith has this question for you, Josh, and we're glad to have you along with us to kind of sort this out today. How much snow right now expected past Hamburg to the PA line? You were mentioning that's where this band had shifted, right, from the metro down that way.
Yeah, so that snowfall map that I showed you, only Kathy took us through Thursday morning. So I was just kind of showing what's going to happen in the short term for those who are going to be out and about maybe for this New Year's Eve. But by tomorrow morning in Hamburg, I would say a solid 6 inches. And then once you get south of Hamburg, the amounts will pick up dramatically into ski country. We could easily see about 10, 11, 12 inches of snow by tomorrow morning.
Let's see here. Mary saying hello. Sue with the question here from how will Cheektowaga to Lancaster, New York be tonight around 10 p.m. Sue has to get to work. I know, like you mentioned, other people will be out and about as we try to ring in the new year. Cheektowaga to Lancaster, Josh, similar thing?
Yeah,
oh, that's north. That's north. Yeah, that's north. But
Yeah. Certainly a similar thing, because we're all kind of dealing with uh, the lake enhanced snow and the lake effect snow. So, if you get under one of these bands, even in Cheektowaga, you could be dealing with some whiteout conditions. So definitely, Sue, if you have to get to work around 10 o'clock, you might want to just allow a little extra time.
Take your time, and if there's those travel advisories out there, I know there's one in Chautauqua County. I believe that's until Thursday at 7 a.m., or at least there was at the time of the start of this stream. Again, right around 4:12 or so on your Wednesday. That goes through Thursday at 7 a.m. A travel advisory in Chautauqua County. Those travel advisories are there for a reason. There are folks out, either first responders or crews, just trying to keep you safe. So adhere to those if you can. We have a question here from Lauren. What is the driving situation like in downtown Buffalo? Well, I'm here in the city. Behind me, the snow has tapered off, but I can tell you that earlier, over the last couple of hours, there was snow, a modest snow coming down, and maybe a couple inches so far here today. Whether it's plowed or not, at this point, I haven't been out in a little bit, but there was some snow here earlier, Lauren, and I know that when I went to the grocery store earlier today to grab some things for the family, it was a little slow go, but I haven't been out there immediately, but there has been snow, and there will be continued snow here in the city if you do have to get out and about, whether that's to run an errand or if you have plans for tonight. Comments as well coming in. We invite those questions for Josh as we continue with our 7 weather update here on Facebook and WKBW.com. Jackie asking Youngstown, Lewiston, anything, Josh, up there in Niagara County.
Well, yeah, up towards Niagara County, we are still under winter weather advisories. Those are going to go through the middle of the night. So just be careful. Again, it's not for the sheer amount of snow, because we're not looking at more than maybe 1 to 3 inches up towards Youngstown and Lewiston. But it doesn't take much snow to make the roads slippery. So keep that in mind. And because we are dealing with these bursts of snow that are sort of mixed in, you can get a quick inch in just an hour, and that's going to create whiteout conditions. And you combine that with the fact that you have just maybe 25 miles per hour of wind, and the snow is lifted and drifted because it's very fluffy. This is lake snow, so the water content is low, and as a result, the snow is more prone to be lifted and drifted by even just a few miles per hour of wind. And of course, if that's falling on a secondary untreated and elevated road surface, it's just going to make for some pretty poor travel tonight.
You were speaking about your travel in from Rochester earlier
Yep.
today. Let's get to Nate here first. Tonawanda, at this point, done with the snow.
No,
Josh, and the reason I asked that is I know they also have some New Year's Eve festivities coming up there for the Tonawandas tonight. So that's interesting as well. I know people want to get out and about. Tonawanda done with the snow at this point from Nate.
absolutely not. No. The snow is going to continue for several hours in some shape, form, or fashion. In Tonawanda, it might be just falling lightly, but it still will be snowing for New Year's Eve festivities.
I'm going to bring in a comment here from Tara. And again, we thank you for joining us here today for this 7 weather update. We're inviting your questions for Josh. Now's the time to get us updated as we continued with this, these continued waves, I guess, of lake effect snow throughout Western New York. Tara, and the reason I brought this up, Josh, is you mentioned you had driven, the thruway right past Batavia earlier today. And she's asking Genesee County and Batavia, New York. It was a slow go. And will that continue on the thruway in Genesee County in the area there, Batavia?
For the next several hours, yes. I think later tonight, probably after 10 or 11 o'clock, the snow will wind down there. But I can tell you that there were patches on the thruway, those of which were left untreated, it was pretty bad. At points in the left lane, people were trying to pass, and they were passing at 20 miles per hour. So it was not pleasant. So just extra caution, extra care. The crews are doing the best that they can, I think, to get out there and salt and sand. But certainly into Genesee County, if you're on, like I said, a secondary untreated or elevated road, it's going to be pretty tricky, to say the least.
It's fun to be able to sit here with you, Josh, and chat. Often in the studio, we're kind of, 2 ships passing. We'll talk before the show, but it's
Right.
it's nice to sit here and be able to sort of pick your brain for our viewers and get your expertise
Likewise.
on this. Jim here, how about Elma to Depew around 5:30? And again, this will depend on where those bands are. But Elma to Depew, Josh, as we are getting closer to 5:30 at this point.
Yeah, there's going to be pockets of moderate snow. So, just if you're traveling from Elma to Depew, just again, just extra caution, extra care, extra time, to say the least, because it's tricky out there. If you get one of these bursts of snow that come through, I mean, they're putting down an inch an hour, and so it's like living in a windblown snow globe. If if you are under one of these bands, so keep that in mind for sure.
The duration of
Mhm.
this advisory, this winter weather, it's a winter storm watch, right, for
Winter
Western New
storm
York.
warning. Winter storm
Winter
warning.
storm warning. I'm sorry, winter storm
Yeah.
warning for Western New York. This extends through Friday, correct?
Now, okay, so it's only for ski country, so it's
Gotcha,
for
for ski
Chautauqua.
country.
Yeah, so it's Chautauqua, Cattaraugus County, and Southern Erie County.
Okay.
Metro Buffalo technically not in it, but yes, the winter storm warning is out through Friday because this is a prolonged lake effect event, and so like I said, the sheer amount of snow that falls each day, nothing that Western New Yorkers can't handle.
Sure.
But when you add it up all together over time, you're going to end up with storm totals down into ski country, places like Ellicottville, on the order of 2 feet, maybe even 3 feet.
I have some family that came in from New York City. They were here for the holiday. They're actually down in Ellicottville, made the trip down in Ellicottville to celebrate the New Year down there with some friends, and saw some pictures from ski country today. The skiers that are there safely are having a nice time in terms of the snow that's falling in Ellicottville and the like.
Yeah,
Nancy
the skiers
Bracy
love it.
here. Yeah, they're love the pictures look amazing. Nancy Bracy asking Orleans County, Josh, at this point, what are you seeing there? And I think a lot of this is similar, right, in terms of where the bands are, in terms of at what time they are, but specifically to Orleans County for Nancy. What can you
Yeah,
hone in
yeah,
on?
and maybe we can. Let me see here if I can just call up the radar. Maybe we can get the
Yeah,
weather
yeah.
graphics.
Bring
There
it
we
back
go.
up. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
Technology.
this,
Look at that.
yeah, right. So yeah, so that's live radar. There's Orleans County right now. Holly, Albion, Ridgeway, Gaines, Carlton. You're all dealing with some of that moderate snow right now. What we can do is we can actually loop the radar here over the last hour, and you can see that as I like to say, we're in it to win it. It is snowing. It's not blowing as bad, but it's certainly snowing. And back to the west, there's more snow waiting in the wings out towards St. Catharines, and so yeah, Orleans County, you're getting it good right now. Probably about a half-mile visibility at times, especially into western sections of Orleans County. You can see some of those darker blue shades right there, indicative of some of that heavier snow. So, and based upon radar trends, we'll just go back here and then we can just kind of take a look. You see how that snow extends all the way back into Ontario, and then the back edge is really way away into towards Lake Huron. Yeah, we've got several hours of snow to go. This is an Arctic cold front, so that's also part of the trigger here for some of this snow, and that makes it more of an area-wide snow. So we have the lake effect, and then you have the fact that you have this larger scale Arctic cold front that's the trigger to cause more snow. So that's why it's going to be snowing and blowing in Orleans County and elsewhere for the next several hours.
Steph, thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the viewers joining us here for this 7 weather update, both on Facebook and WKBW.com, taking your questions with meteorologist Josh Nichols as we push toward the end of 2025. Can you believe it? Steph here, traveling from Buffalo to Collins around 5 a.m. Josh, what's to be expected as we push into 2026 and tomorrow morning?
Yeah, so we'll call up the high resolution computer model here, and what you can see is around 5 a.m. it's not much happening. So that's some good news for you, Steph.
I'm hearing the snow blowers out in my neighborhood, and that reminds me that I'm gonna have to get out there here a little bit to get rid of this first batch that came through, several inches here in the city. Mina asking here, when can I begin snow blowing, plowing by the stadium, so down in Orchard Park, without having to do it twice? In other words, right?
Well,
That
well,
makes sense, right?
well, the set just fell. Okay,
Oh no.
that's live TV for you. Uh,
Well, that's what we do. These things happen,
yep,
right? Whether it's a
yep,
mic
these
or a
things happen.
set. But
Yep.
for Mina, so she, let's be efficient here, Josh, with the snow
Yeah.
blowing. Is there a better time to do it so it doesn't have to happen twice there near the stadium?
Well, let's see. I guess that depends on what your tolerance level is. Um, if you wait until, I'd say maybe midnight, maybe just that, maybe you want to treat yourself to a little New Year's Eve snow blowing. It'll be winding down in Orchard Park at that time.
And let's see, Mary Burdick, Allegheny County.
Mhm.
More snow tomorrow in Allegheny County, Josh. Thoughts?
Well, honestly, I think nothing more than the odd flurry. Certainly, plenty of clouds and plenty of cold weather, because again, this is an Arctic cold front that's coming through. So it looks like the snow that we're dealing with right now will be long gone in Allegheny County by tomorrow.
The reason why we're doing this weather update today, folks, and we're so thankful that you're, along with meteorologist Josh Nichols, and myself, is weather has been the story all week long. This started back on Monday with the high winds. Josh, you had mentioned the wind gust, I believe, was up to 79 miles an hour. Just some video and things that we shared throughout, the last couple of days on social media, where there was that car down in Hamburg that was left there at Hoax, or the debris that was washed up into the commercial slip there at Canal Side. I know I was over there. This was the scene at Canal Side on Monday and Tuesday. The winds blowing that debris into the commercial slip there, and actually the folks there at the waterfront told me yesterday this backup of debris in that commercial slip in the canal there is actually a normal occurrence when they deal with some of these high winds from the winter weather. Cleanup crews are well versed in how to remove some of that. But this is just some of the dramatic impacts that we had, first from the winds and then from the snow that is coming through. And that's the reason for our 7 weather update today. Pushing through to New Year's Eve, want to make sure that everyone out there is updated, and we want to make sure that everyone is safe. And the best way to do that is to get the weather, the forecast, and pinpoint the snow from our experts here. And our 7 weather team's been working extremely hard over the last several days, as always. And Josh Nichols here to answer the questions throughout the last half hour. And if you have any more out there, folks, as well, please chime in. But Josh, it's winter. We get snow here in Western New York, and the theme that you had mentioned as this is nothing in terms of the snow falling today that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, this is not out of the ordinary by any stretch of the imagination, and we're Western New Yorkers. We can
Right.
handle this. It's when you're in a lake effect event like this. Well, first of all, I mean, no one wants to see 79-mile-per-hour winds combined with snow squalls. That was just rotten the other day. But if you're just dealing with this kind of situation, where it snows an inch or two, an inch or two, an inch or two. One of my meteorology professors used to say eternal flurries, and so that's kind of it's kind of what it feels like. But you can manage it. 1 to 3 inches in a few hours. You go out, you shovel it, you snow blow it, and then it snows a few more inches. So over time, in places like ski country, by the time we get to Friday, that's why you're seeing those totals of 1 to 3 feet being talked about. But it needs to be emphasized that that's in totality since the event started. We're not talking about another 1 to 3 feet from this time into Friday. We're talking about in totality as to what has already fallen. And so far, the amounts have been modest into ski country, on the order of about a half a foot, a little bit more in some spots. But by the time we get to Friday, we probably will see some 2 to 3 feet totals, especially like Ellicottville and maybe even into Springville.
Josh, let's take us back to the forecast, if you could. If we can get those graphics back up, if you don't mind. We've been broadcasting and streaming live for you on Facebook and WKBW.com with the 7 weather update. Jeff Russo, along with meteorologist Josh Nichols, taking your weather questions, trying to keep you updated. keep everyone safe and up to date on the weather conditions out there as we push toward ringing in the new year tonight. And our Josh Nichols has been joining us, kind of giving us updates on what we're seeing. And Josh, dealing with snow throughout many parts of Western New York today, once again.
And so what I've done is here, we're taking a look at snow totals here all the way through 7 o'clock in the evening, and that's our high resolution model. And again, this goes through tomorrow evening, from tonight through tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. The potential for 4 to 8 inches of snow, Southern Erie County, Wyoming County, Ellicottville, another half a foot, Jamestown, another half a foot. Niagara Falls, not that much, maybe a couple inches. Here in Buffalo, not that much, a couple inches. And again, into Batavia, excuse me, you might see about 4 inches of snow. Down towards Olean, maybe about 5 inches of snow. Bradford, PA, about 5 inches as well. So these are modest snowfall amounts through tomorrow evening. And then we might see an area-wide light snow developing heading into Friday. So I think, Jeff, you heard me say this earlier, our future is frozen and flaky.
And that's the way to ring in a new year, right?
Right.
2026 sure is. And Mary and Sue and Mina and everyone in the comments, thank you for your kind words today. This really has been the weather's been the story this week, and will continue to be as we push into the new year. And the reason for our 7 weather update tonight was just to kind of keep everybody up to date, let you know that we're working as we push toward the holiday and into 2026. Just a reminder that we are streaming this live. We started at 4 o'clock today. There are some advisories and warnings out there. And conditions will change. So make sure that if you're watching this at a different time, because this will be recorded and put up there on Facebook, just make sure that you're checking in and that you have the latest, the information. Of course, we'll always have that information at WKBW.com and the WKBW weather app. Hey, Happy New Year, Kathy Smith, and to everybody who's been joining us here on Facebook. I guess the theme for tonight, Josh, is we push that people are out and about, take it slow. Right, give yourself a little bit extra time, and quite frankly, just be safe if you're going out.
And be prepared for a bit of a drop in temperature as well. It feels like 13 right now in Buffalo. Feels like 11 in the Falls. Feels like 7 in Bradford, PA. Feels like 9 in Jamestown. So it is safe to say frigid out there, but it is going to get even colder as we head into the hours just surrounding New Year's Eve. So it's already cold. It's going to get colder, still on the flaky side. And so, if you're going to be doing some reveling, I know that I've been watching the ticker here at the bottom of our screen on Channel 7 on our live television feed. And I have seen some cancellations that have come up. So you might want to pay attention to those as well but before you head out the door. And like I said, the theme is take it slow, take it easy, and just allow lots of extra time and bundle up.
Bundle up, stay safe, stay warm, stay informed. We'll have continued weather updates on the WKBW app. Perfect time to sort of download that, have that in the palm of your hand. A team of meteorologists, including Josh Nichols, running the show today, keeping everybody informed and keeping everybody safe. This has been a longer, weather's been the story throughout the week. Will continue to be an extended snow, Josh, in the southern tier through Friday, you were saying.
That's right. And it's totals, again, this is in totality, since the event began, will be on the order of 2 to 3 feet. So sometimes I like to say, instead of measuring the snow with a ruler, you're going to need to measure it with a yardstick down there.
A yardstick, yeah. We'll keep you up to date throughout the evening on WKBW.com. As well as Facebook and the like. Make sure you're checking cancellations. Making sure you're checking the latest traffic conditions. This has been a 7 weather update here with meteorologist Josh Nichols. I'm 7 News anchor and reporter Jeff Russo joining you as we push toward 2026. Thank you so much for everyone joining us for this live weather update today. Again, make sure you're checking those conditions, because if you're watching this later on, some of those things can change. But Josh, Happy New Year. Thanks for keeping us informed today. I appreciate it.
Happy New Year, Jeff, and to your family as well.
I appreciate that. And thank you, everyone, to all of our viewers that joined us here today. It's an honor to have you along with us. And thanks for being with us throughout the year. And we're looking forward to continuing to keep you informed with the news and weather and everything of the like as we push into 2026. Happy New Year, Western New York. We'll see you soon.
So long. Happy New Year.